Swami Games here, back at it with another spicy video. And in this video, I'm continuing a little series that I thought about creating. So in my last video, if you saw, we were playing with Blackluster Soldier. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of taking the old school cards and mixing them with the new school cards to see if we can make the old school cards a little more competitive. And in this one, as you can see, we have a 5-win streak. And we are in Diamond 4, so all of the replays that you're going to see took place in Diamond 5 and in Diamond 4. And for today's old school meets new school, we are having none other than Dark Magician with Kashtira. Now this deck has been creating a little buzz online, so I thought I'd create my own version of it, and it's a lot of fun, I'm not going to lie, and it does give Dark Magician a more competitive edge. Now it's still not super OP, but yeah, it makes it more fun to play Dark Magician in my opinion. And I think that if you want to play Dark Magician, you can definitely give this a try because it's fun and it really does make Dark Magician a little more enjoyable. So some things I just want to mention very quickly is that in some replays you're going to see that I have more than one rod, and I also have Timayas, but I decided to cut those cards because in the long run I felt they were bricking me too much, or it just wasn't working to my benefit. So I cut down to one rod because we're able to search it via the Illusion of Chaos. We can search it with the Soul Servant. And then I got rid of the Dark Magician, the Dragon dude, because it was very difficult for me to make this fusion monster. I wasn't able to make him as consistently as I wanted. And I know he's very vital in a regular Dark Magician deck because he protects your Eternal Soul from being popped. But yeah, so I'll go over each card by card at the end of the video. So if you enjoyed today's video, please consider dropping a like and subscribe to the channel. It will help me out greatly, and I will thank you for all eternity. So without further ado, let's just jump into the replays. I have about 7 replays that I want to show you guys. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Alright everybody, welcome to game number 1, and we are going to go up against Tearlaments if I remember correctly. Alright, yep, so he's going to activate the Scream. You already know how it is, they're going to scream for help, mill in the Kelbic. Kelbic is going to activate, he's going to mill 5. So my man already has a really great start, and he ends up milling some of the Tearlament girls. He has a Shuffler now, he has another YUGIOH. He's going to activate the Sharon. Wow. He's going to activate the Scream. So, yep. My man cannot complain. He had an amazing hand. He's going to add the Crime to the hand too. Alright, now with the Tearlament girls, he's going to go into the Kalos. Okay, the YUGIOH is going to mill more. So he already milled like about 15 cards. Okay, now with the Merly and the King of the Swamp, he's going to make a Grapha. Fuego, fuego, fuego. Está encendido. Alright, then the Rhino Heart is going to activate. Now the Meta Noise is going to activate. Then the Havness is going to activate. Whoa. My man is on fire today. Alright, now with these 2 monsters, he's going to make the one and only Rule Kalos. Okay, the Rhino Heart is going to special summon itself, milling the Crime. Crime is going to get him the Suliek. Okay, now with the Rhino Heart, he's going to mill a Merly. And then he's going to set 2. So let's see what we have here. So we have negate a special summon. We have interruption for anything. One of these cards is a Suliek. And then he also has some of the Tearlament girls in the graveyard that he can fusion summon with. And he has 2 Shufflers. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so since he milled a Dark Magician, I'm going to activate the Soul Servant, drawing 1, so we draw into our Kashtira Birth. He's going to activate his Tearlament girls, so I'm going to hit him with the Maxi. Alright, and then now he's going to go into the Kaleido Heart. Alright, and then since he activated, I'm going to activate my Fenrir, but he's going to activate the Suliek and negate my Fenrir. Alright, then the Kaleido Heart is going to activate. He's going to spin back my Fenrir. Alright, so now I special summon the Unicorn, activate triple attack his talent. I'm gonna steal his Rule Kalos. Then we activate Kashtira Birth, special summon the Rise Heart. He's going to hit me with the Grapha, so he's going to negate my special summoning. So now he's going to mill the Diviner. That's going to trigger my Unicorn. I'm going to banish his Kit Kalos. Normal summon the Rod. Rod is going to give me the Magical Circle. Activate the Circle. It's going to give me a Soul Servant. And that is it. So, I don't know. He cannot complain. He had like the perfect Tearlaments hand. Like he milled so much and everything, but do not underestimate the power of Dark Magician, baby. Let's keep it rolling, guys. Welcome to our next replay. And in this one, we're going to go up against Kashtira Tearlaments. And we are going to go first this time. So we're going to activate Illusion of Chaos, getting our Rod, putting back the Illusion of Chaos, special summoning the Fenrir, activating the Fenrir, getting ourselves a Unicorn, normal summoning the Rod, getting ourselves a Circle, but we're not going to get nothing because it is going to be stopped by the Infinite Impermanence. Alright, next we're going to activate the Sacred Sword, banishing our Unicorn so that we can draw 2. Activate the Birth, special summoning back the Unicorn that we just banished. Then activate the Unicorn, that's going to trigger the Hafnes. But I got the Ash Blossom hot and ready. We're going to smack him up with some petals. Bam! Alright, then we're going to get our second Kashtira Birth just to thin the deck down a little bit. Then he's going to activate the Kelbeck and he's going to spin back the Fenrir back to my hand. Alright, and then with the Unicorn, I am going to banish his Kit Kalos. And then I'm going to set Call by the Grave, and then that's all we wrote. Alright, he's going to normal summon Diviner, sending the Kelbeck. Kelbeck is going to activate. That's going to trigger my Unicorn. Okay, that's going to trigger the Hafnes. And I'm going to activate the Call by the Grave on the Kelbeck just to prevent him from getting extra plays so that he doesn't mill anything. But he's still with the Hafnes. He still ends up milling an Agido, so he got a little lucky there. And then with the Unicorn, I'm going to get rid of his Kaleido Heart. So now the Agido is going to mill 5. Then the Hafnes is going to activate. So since we got rid of his Kalos and we got rid of his Kaleido Heart, he can only go now into the Garura. And then with the Diviner and Kelbeck, he's going to make a Baron de Fleur. We just crippled his extra deck though. So with the Baron de Fleur, he's going to pop my Kashtira Birth. And he's going to smack me for 500. Alright, then it's back to us. Alright, we draw into a second Rod, so we normal summon it. Then he's going to take the bait, so he's going to negate my Rod with the Baron de Fleur. Alright, so now I activate Kashtira Birth, special summoning our Unicorn from the graveyard. And then I'm going to go into the battle phase. I'm going to banish his Grapha. Then I'm going to smack the Garura. The Garura is going to trigger. He's going to be able to draw 1 card. And then with these 2 monsters, we're going to make our Dark. So for me, I'm going to link climb into our Access Cold Talker. Just because I want to get rid of that Baron de Fleur. So that on his turn, I don't want him to pop anything. Alright, so we popped the Baron de Fleur. And then that's all he wrote. Alright, so here he is. He's playing the Kashtira cards too. So he's going to special summon the Fenrir. The Fenrir is going to banish my Access Cold Talker. Then he's going to set 1 and pass. Alright, here we got our Fenrir. I'm going to activate the Birth, bringing back my Unicorn. Then I'm going to go into the battle step because I don't want to activate my Fenrir because that's going to trigger his Fenrir. So I get rid of his Fenrir first. Now I can activate my Fenrir, getting myself a Rise Heart. And then that's all he wrote. So we got rid of his Kit Kalos, got rid of his Kaleido Heart, and then we got rid of the Grapha. Like, he was just crippled. But that's the power of Kashtira, baby. Let's get it on. Alright, my beautiful people. Welcome to our second replay. And in this one, we're going to go up against Branded Despia with some Bestial action. Okay, so he's going to activate the Lubellion, searching for the Magnum Hut. Okay, then he's gonna set a Springing Kit. I'm gonna imperm that. Okay, the kid would be able to add a spell or trap, so I don't want him to add like a Branded Fusion or anything like that. So he's gonna activate the Branded Laws. He's gonna activate the Magnum Hut, banishing the Lubellion. Okay, then with these two monsters, he's gonna go into the Anaconda. Whoa. Then he's going to activate the Branded Fusion. And then with the Fallen of Albaz and the Anaconda, he's going to go into the Mirror Jade. Alright, then the Branded Loss is going to activate. He's going to get the Mercurier. Then he's going to set one and pass. And then he's going to search for the Baldrake. Alright. Now it's back to us. We draw Infinite Impermanence. Okay, we're going to special summon the Fenrir. He's going to activate the Mirror Jade, banishing the Fenrir. Now we can special summon the Unicorn. Activate Illusion of Chaos, getting our Magician's Rod, sending back the Illusion of Chaos. Activate the Rod. He's going to activate the Mercurier, negating my Rod. Alright, now I'm going to activate the Unicorn so that I can search for our Kashtira Birth. He's going to activate the Baldrake, banishing the Mercurier. And I'm going to get rid of his Lubellion. Okay, then the Mercurier is going to get him the Albion, and now I can search for my Kashtira Birth. So I activate Kashtira Birth. I can special summon now the Fenrir that was banished. Activate the Fenrir, but he's going to hit me with the Super Poly. But I guess he's not playing Garura or something like that, so instead he ends up using my Magician's Rod as material. And then he's going to go into Dragostapelia. Okay, so we get our Rice Heart. So now, since he activated a monster effect, the Birth is going to activate, so I can banish three cards from his graveyard. So I'm going to banish the Rinbroom, the Branded Fusion, and the Fallen of Albaz. Get that shit out of here. Okay, now the Dragostapelia is going to activate, and he's going to make Fenrir a level 1. And I mean, I don't know, since I already used my Fenrir, I felt like maybe this was sort of a misplay on his part. He probably should have waited for me to activate my Rice Heart, and then he probably should have negated my Rice Heart instead. Because now I banished my Unicorn, now I can banish some cards from the top of his deck. Okay, then I activate this card, banishing the Rice Heart, so I can draw 2. We draw into Harpy's Feather Duster and Magician Souls. So now we activate Magician Souls, send the Dark Magician to the graveyard, special summon him. And then I'm just going to crash into the Baldrake, just to kind of wipe the field a little bit. Okay, and then we set Imperm, and we're good. Alright. Now that probably was also maybe like a misplay on my part too. Maybe I could have like gone into like Shanghai Eerie with the Unicorn and the Dark Magician. But I really wanted to keep the Unicorn for this so that I can start banishing monsters off the top of his extra deck. But anyway, so he's gonna mill the Retribution, banishing it, and then he's gonna get the Branded Lost. Alright, that's gonna trigger my Fenrir. I'm gonna banish his Dragostapelia, and that's all he wrote. He has no more follow-up, so now it's back to us. Okay, special summon, activate the Fenrir, getting our Fenrir. Activate the Unicorn, getting another Birth. Activate the Birth, special summoning the Rice Heart. Banishing another Unicorn so we can banish some more cards. I'm gonna banish his Chimera. And that's all he wrote. So yeah, man, Kashtira and Dark Magician surprisingly has really great synergy with the level 7 plays and all of that. But yeah, that was Branded Despia. Let's keep it moving. Alright, my people, welcome to our next replay. And this replay, bro, this was just like overkill. I really wanted to show this replay kind of to demonstrate just how crazy this Kashtira cards are. So we're gonna go up against Tri-brigade. Okay, so he's gonna activate a whole bunch of stuff, getting his monsters into the graveyard. So we're actually playing Tri-brigade Melfy. Okay, so I'm gonna activate the Maxi since he's gonna special summon a monster. Okay, so we draw into our second Unicorn, and then we draw into our Dark Magician, draw into another Soul Servant, He's gonna go into the Melfy of the Forest. Okay, and we're gonna draw into our second maxi. Okay, he's gonna add a Wally to his hand. And then he's gonna end his phase, and the Wally's gonna activate, special summoning it. That's gonna get us our evenly matched. And we're gonna draw into our third unicorn, bro. So I'm gonna skip my battle phase, activate evenly matched, special summon the Fenrir. The Wally's gonna activate. I'm gonna hit him with the maxi again. This is just unfair, bro. I feel bad for my opponent, but okay, so I'm gonna activate the Fenrir, banishing one of his Melfys. Then I'm gonna get a Rice Heart. Activate the Rice Heart, special summoning it. That's gonna trigger his puppy. The puppy's gonna get him a Calantosa. Then the Calantosa is gonna pop my Rice Heart. I'm gonna activate Magician Soul, sending the Dark Magician to the graveyard so I can special summoning it. Activate Soul Servant, putting Illusion of Chaos at the top. Activate the Soul Servant in the graveyard so that I can draw into my Illusion of Chaos. Activating it, getting my Rod, putting back a Unicorn, normal summon the Rod, getting myself a Magical Circle. Activate the Circle. Circle unfortunately is gonna give me another Circle. Then with these two monsters, we're gonna make our Diablosis. Okay, then I'm going to activate Diablosis. I'm gonna banish his Sharanui, whatever that is. And then this is just what's crazy, man. So we banish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards with the Diablosis, bro. This is why, man, it is just so unfair, bro. These Kashtira cards are just crazy, but they make Dark Magician competitive, you know. So what can we do? Mixing the old with the new in order to make the old a little more competitive. Okay, then he's gonna crash into my Magician's Rod so that he can activate Evenly Match. Okay, that's gonna trigger the Melfy. Alright, we draw into Eternal Soul. Then I'm gonna banish the Soul Servant from my graveyard. We're gonna draw 1. We draw into Harpy's Feather Duster. The Illusion of Chaos is gonna give me my Magician Souls. I'm gonna activate the Diablosis. Gonna get rid of one of his Melfys, and then over here bro, this is what I mean. It's so unfair. Look how many cards we just banished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cards. Oh, bro, I feel bad. Like, man, this is just so toxic. Like, okay, then I'm gonna send the Illusion of Chaos so that I can special summon Dark Magician. Dark Magician is gonna banish one of his Melfy cards. That's gonna trigger the puppy. It's gonna trigger the Wally. Okay, then he's gonna special summon 2 of his other Melfy cards. He's gonna special summon another one. That's gonna trigger. He's gonna pop my circle, but I'm like, at this point, bro, does it even matter? Alright, and then we're gonna banish his kit. So okay, then I'm going to normal summon the Unicorn. Then the Unicorn is going to activate. I'm going to banish another Melfy card from his extra deck. I'm going to get my Kashtira Birth, activate the Birth, getting back my Rice Heart. Rice Heart is going to activate, banishing the the Unicorn so I can banish more cards from the top of his deck. Like, this is just overkill, bro. I'm just going to go into the Shangri-Era. So now he only has, what, 9 cards. Shangri-Era is going to allow me to special summon the Fenrir. He's going to activate the Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat is going to get him 2 beast monsters. That's going to trigger the Fenrir. That's going to trigger my Shangri-Era. And then that's all he wrote, bro. Like, I just feel terrible. Look, he... Oh, man. I'm usually not this toxic, bro. But, you know, what can we do? It makes Dark Magician competitive, though. So, you know, let's just keep it moving. Alright, que lo que, mi gente? Welcome back to our next replay. And in this one, we're going first. And we are going to go up against Adventure Kashtira. So we special summon the Fenrir, activate the Fenrir, but we activate for nothing because our opponent has that infinite impermanence. So we're going to get negated, but we got the Illusion of Chaos. So we're going to activate, search for the Rod, send back the Magician to our deck, normal summon the Rod, getting ourselves a circle. Activate the circle, and we end up getting another Dark Magician. So that's all we can do, so we just pass turn. Alright, so our opponent's gonna hit me with the Infinite Impermanence. He's gonna activate Dimensional Fissure, special summoning the Ogre. Ogre's going to search for the trap card, but I am going to smack him around with some Cherry Blossoms. No, no, no. Alright, so now he can look at the top 5 cards on my deck, and then he can banish one. So he ends up banishing one of my Unicorns. Then he's going to activate the Kashtira Birth. Then he's going to get rid of my Fenrir. Alright, it's back to us. We draw Magician Souls. We're going to activate Illusion of Chaos, getting ourselves a Timaeus, putting back the Dark Magician. That's going to trigger the Ogre. Once again, he can look at the top 5 cards on my deck, and he can banish one. So he's going to end up banishing my Dark Magician, of course. And then here with the Timaeus, I am going to get rid of my circle so I can special summon the Timaeus. And then I'm going to normal summon the Magician Souls. So now I have 3 monsters with 3 different names. So I can go into my Blackluster Soldier. And then the Blackluster Soldier, since I made it with a level 8 or higher monster, so now this card, he cannot be targeted with card effects, and also it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And then if I kill one of his monsters, then I can gain 1500 attack, or this card can make a second attack, or I can banish one card of the field. So we get rid of the Ogre. I'm going to go for the banishing effect, getting rid of the Birth. Just because the Birth can be a little problematic if he ends up getting like another Kashtira monster. And then this is just actually hilarious. So he ends up getting the Rite of Aramasmir, however you pronounce that. Getting the Fateful Adventure. So the Fateful Adventure states that you can add one monster that mentions an adventure token, whatever. But the funny thing is that after you add one card to your hand, then you have to discard one card to the graveyard. So he gets the Griffin Rider, and then he has to get rid of the Griffin Rider due to his own effect. And because he has his own Dimensional Fissure on the field, he ends up banishing his own Griffin Rider. So that's death by your own card effects, my friend. Alright, mi gente, welcome to our next replay. I already lost count. I don't know what number is this, but anyways, we're going to go first, and we're going to go up against Branded. So we're going to special summon the Unicorn. He's going to activate Maxi. That's going to trigger my Unicorn. So I'm going to get rid of his Kekalo. So we're going up against Branded Tearlaments. I'm going to search for the Birth, activate the Circle. Circle is going to give me a Soul Servant. Activate the Sacred Sword, banishing the Fenrir so I can draw 2 cards. Then I can activate the Birth, bring back the Fenrir that I just banished. Activate the Fenrir, searching for another Fenrir. Normal summoning the Rice Heart, banishing the Unicorn so I can banish 3 cards from the top of his deck. And that's all he wrote. And since he hit me with the Maxi, I leave it here. I could have gone, you know, into like Shanghai Eerie or Diabolosis, any of those level 7 XZs, but I just leave it there. So I'm gonna now shotgun my Maxi. Okay, he's gonna activate Branded Opening, getting himself the Alibur. Alibur is gonna activate, getting himself a Branded Regain. The Tragedy is gonna activate in the graveyard, getting himself an Ad Libitum. Alright, and all of that is going to trigger my Kashtira monsters. So the Unicorn is going to activate. I'm going to banish the Lubellion. Okay, he's going to activate the Regain. He's going to set 1 down. Okay, now at the end phase, I'm going to activate my Soul Servant, putting the Illusion of Chaos on the top of my deck so that I can draw into it. And he's going to shotgun the Maxi. That's going to trigger my Fenrir, and that's going to trigger my Unicorn. So with the Fenrir, we get rid of his Branded Regain. And with the Unicorn, we get rid of his Quatus. And then we get our second Birth. Then I'm going to search for my other Unicorn. With the Illusion of Chaos, I'm going to get my Magician Souls. And then that's all he wrote. So pretty much, I was going to go pretty much pitch Dark Magician to the graveyard with the Soul, special summon it, banish a card, and then from there go into whatever level 7 plays that I want to go into. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our final replay of today's video. And in this one, we're going to go up against another Tri-brigade, because I felt bad, bro, about the last Tri-brigade guy that I went up against. Like, I did him wrong, bro. So I found another Tri-brigade player, and we kind of had like a more interesting duel. So I didn't go as hard as I did on the last one. So anyways, you know, he was setting up his graveyard with some stuff. He's gonna now get himself a Link monster, so I'm going to activate the Maxi. He's gonna activate the triple tactics talent, drawing 2 cards. Then he's gonna go into the Rugo. Okay. Then the kid is gonna activate. The Farragut is gonna activate. So now he's gonna be able to add a card to his deck, and then he's gonna put a card back into the deck, and then he's going to mill the Tri-brigade Oath. All right. So now we special summon our Fenrir. He's going to hit me with the Infinite Impermanence. I'm going to activate our Sacred Sword, banishing our Fenrir so we can draw 2. Normal summon our Rod, get our Eternal Soul. Activate Illusion of Chaos, getting our Magician Souls. Putting back a Soul Servant. Activating Soul, sending the Dark Magician to the graveyard. He's going to activate the Tri-brigade Revolt. So he's going to special summon 1, 2, 3, and then use those 3. He's going to be able to go into a Link 3 monster. So he's going to go into the Rugo. Okay, so we special summon our Dark Magician. That's going to trigger the Circle. So the Circle is going to banish one of his cards. Okay, the kid is going to activate in the graveyard. The Nerval is going to activate in the graveyard. And then his Rugo is also going to activate. Alright, so he special summons the Fractal. Then he gets a Karas. And then the kid is going to mill Rendezvous. Alright, then we get our Dark Magician to our hand. Okay, and we get Dark Magician to our hand because we have Secrets of Dark Magic. I was going to try to see if I can set up some sort of OTK, but I was a little short. So with the Ebon, I'm going to discard the Dark Magician so I can special summon another Dark Magician. And then now the Ebon, whenever a spellcaster that's a normal spellcaster. So pretty much when a Dark Magician attacks, you can target one card your opponent controls and then you can banish it. So we're going to banish his Fractal. Okay, then the Rod is going to smack him. The Ebon is going to smack him. Then I'm going to activate Secrets of Dark Magic so that we can go into our Dark Magicians. And I was going to try to set up an OTK, so I was a little short, but... Okay, then we're going to set Eternal Soul, and then with the Ebon, I'm going to make a Zeus. Alright, and that's all we wrote. Alright, so he's going to activate the Fractal. He's going to discard the kit. The kit is going to activate, sending a Nerval. The Nerval is going to activate, getting himself a Karas. Okay, then the Karas is going to activate, discarding a Zodiac monster to special summon itself. Then the Karas is going to banish a whole bunch of cards from the graveyard so that he can go into his Shuraig. I never know how to pronounce that card. Okay, so here I'm going to activate my Eternal Soul so that I can get rid of his Link 4 monster. So we special summon our Dark Magician. Okay, that's going to trigger my Dark Magicians. That's going to trigger my Circle. And that's also going to trigger my Rod. Okay, so with the Rod, I put the Dark Magician back into the graveyard so that I can add the Rod to my hand. Then we banish his Link 4 monster. He's going to activate Fire Formation, getting himself a Zodiac Whiptail. Then he's going to activate Monster Reborn, getting himself a Zodiac Thoroughblade. And then with these Zodiac monsters, he's going to XYZ climb. So he's going to make a Trident. Then he's going to pop my Eternal Soul with the Trident. Then the Trident is going to, the Eternal Soul is going to pop all of my monsters. And then I'm guessing because I don't have Dark Magician Girl in my deck, this didn't activate. Because usually when the Dark Magician is popped, you can special summon a Dark Magician and a Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard. But I guess that's why that effect didn't go off, because I don't play Dark Magician Girl in this deck. Alright, so lastly, at the end of all of that, he's going to now make a 4 material Zeus. Alright, so it's back to us. And we draw into my shorty. So I'm going to activate Illusion of Chaos, getting my Magician Souls, putting back the Evenly Matched, getting a Soul Servant. And here, I'm just trying to bait out that Zeus, because I have Kurikara. If I can bait out the Zeus, and then it's GG's. So I put back the Eternal Soul with the Soul Servant, banishing the Soul Servant so I can draw into it. Activate the Magician Soul, sending the Illusion of Chaos to the graveyard so that I can special summon the Dark Magician. And that is the bait. I guess he knows that with the circle in the field, I'm going to be able to banish a card. So he activates Zeus. So now I can go into the shorty, my baby girl, Kurikara. And then with the Dark Magician, we're going to do Dark Magic Attack. And we put an end to that fool. Alright, my beautiful people, let's jump into the deck list. Alright, my people, welcome to the deck list. And as always, if you made it this far into the video, thank you all so much for sticking around with me. And without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So, we have 3 Dark Magicians, and I run 3 because 1, Bestials. If I pitch the Dark Magician to the graveyard with the souls, the Bestials can banish it. Also, the Kashtira Ogre right here, he can look at the 5 cards from the top of my deck and he can banish 1. So he can banish a Dark Magician. So those are just ways that the Dark Magician can be banished, and I'm afraid of losing my Dark Magicians. So yep, that's why I run 3. Then we have 3 souls. You can pitch the Dark Magician to the graveyard and then it can special summon it. And then we got my shorty, my baby girl, the Fire Queen, the one and only Kurikara. Right now, one of my favorite going second board breaking cards. And then we have 3 Maxi, because I feel in any Dark Magician deck, you have to draw. Like, drawing is just so crucial and vital. Because often, that's the problem with a lot of Dark Magician decks, is that they can brick like a mother. So, drawing cards is very, very important. So, to add to the draw power, I also have 1 Sacred Sword. I can banish a level 7 monster. And then I can draw 2 cards. And then we also have the Triple Tactics talent. Now with the Sacred Sword, you really want to banish your Fenrir or your Kashtira. I mean your Fenrir or your Unicorn. Because with the Kashtira Birth, you're able to bring them back. So you never banish your Dark Magicians. And then since we're on Kashtira Birth, I played this one right here because you can also normal summon a level 7 monster without tributing. So you can normal summon a Dark Magician. So that's really, really great. Which is gonna go into the reason why I run 1 Magician's Rod. So Rod, first of all, we can search it very easily with our Illusion of Chaos, or we can also put it on top of our deck with the Soul Servant. But the Rod is a normal summon, and right now the Rod is competing with the Dark Magician, and it's also competing with the Rise Heart. So that's why I cut it down to 1, because if I need it, I can search it very easily. And then we run 3 Ash Blossoms. We run 1 Kashtira Rise Heart. We run 2 Fenrir. We run 3 Unicorns. And then 2 Illusion of Chaos. This card is really, really important in the Dark Magician package, because if you have a bricked hand, then as I mentioned, you can search just about any Dark Magician related card with it. And then we have 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. We got the 1 Sacred Sword, the 2 Triple Tactics, and we got 2 Dark Magical Circles, the 2 Kashtira Birth, and then we have the Call by the Grave, the 3 Soul Servant, and we have the Secrets of Dark Magic. We got 2 Evenly Matched, 2 Infinite Permanents, and 1 Eternal Soul. So one of my main goals with this deck was that I really wanted to make it as consistent as I could. And I found out that these card balance were really great. I didn't brick as much as I would brick when playing a Dark Magician deck. So I think I found perfect card harmony when it comes to keeping the deck very consistent. But yeah, so for the extra deck, we have 2 Dark Magicians. We can easily make this with the Secrets of Dark Magic. Then we have 1 Big Eye to steal any monsters from our opponent. We got the Ebon. This card is really, really cracked and amazing. We got 1 Diablosis. As you saw in the Tri-brigade replay, is just unfair. This card is just crazy. Then we got 2 Shangri-Era to lock our opponent's zones and stuff like that. Then we got the 1 Zeus, 1 Masquerena, 1 Dark the Dark Charmer, Then we have 1 Unicorn, 1 Blackluster Soldier. This card right here, when you're going up against Tearlaments, if you're able to make him with the level 7 or higher monster, and then if you're able to give him the 1500 attack boost, making him 4500, then Tearlaments sometimes really have a tough time to get rid of this card, because they cannot pop it with card effects and they cannot attack over it, because they usually cannot make their Collider Heart higher than 4500. So it's really great against Tearlaments as well. And then Selene and Access Cold Talker and Underworld Goddess. Underworld Goddess is mainly for Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax, because I don't really have any other way of getting rid of that card, especially if they make it with the IP Masquerena. Then Crusadia is going to be really tough for us to get rid of. But yeah, other than that, that's the deck. Mixing the old with the new. If you're a Yugi boomer, if you like Dark Magician, and if you don't mind mixing the old with the new, then I think Kashtira is probably the best way to play Dark Magicians if you're looking to play it in a competitive manner. Now, are you going to be able to hit Master 1 with this deck? Maybe not, unless if you're willing to struggle, because at the end of the day, it is still Dark Magician. You know, it is still somewhat power crept in today's meta. But if you want to just have fun, and if you do want to make it, as you see, I am playing in Diamond and I was able to win most of my duels. I think it's really worth giving a try. So yeah, if you're a Dark Magician lover, then I really think mixing it with Kashtira is worth giving a shot. So anyways, that's it for me. Thank you all so much, and continue enjoying the rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon. Kiwami Games. I will see you guys on the next. Peace out.